949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum, explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Conner.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Conner.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett
Conner. Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 4th day of April, 2025. Right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy belated birthday to you. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Yum. Daily school lunch menus are available to browse on the Yum website. Just visit yumcayman.ky for more information. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. And we want to send out special condolences to the family of the person who unfortunately lost their life yesterday. I won't say any more at this point in time, because anything that I say would be mere speculation or conjecture. We wait for official news releases to share whatever information is available with you. As well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. And again, this morning, we want to take the opportunity to wish our two colleagues, DJ Lynn and Mr. Joel Wilson, a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work as well. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Conner, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. This morning, we will have a paid segment again with candidates from the Cayman Islands National Party in the studio with us. That will commence at about 7:45. So the phone lines will be closed off. But if you have any questions or comments, we will encourage you to send them to us via WhatsApp, and we can share those with the candidates. The WhatsApp number, of course, is 925-3261. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs, again brought to you by Coca-Cola and by Yum. We see that yesterday, the 3rd of April, Miss Greta Pascal celebrated her birthday, 80 years old. So birthday greetings are coming from Dennis Pascal and the whole the rest of the Pascal sons and daughters and grandchildren as well. And Dennis has shared with us that compared to some of her elderly folks, his mama is still young as well. So Miss Greta Pascal, happy belated birthday to you, and may you live to see many, many more birthday greetings coming from your son, Dennis Pascal, and all of the other Pascal sons, as well as daughters and grandchildren. Let's look at other birthday shout-outs that we have. Today, we see that Tricia Sevick celebrating a birthday today. Carlton Watson also celebrating a birthday today. Isadora Farrow also celebrating a birthday today. Tomorrow, Miss Sylvia Ebanks celebrating a birthday. Also, Miss Susan Dixon celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Later down in April, Josani, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Josana Fermin celebrating a birthday on Sunday as well. And happy birthday today, Fabian Connolly, from his parents Trudy, Roy, and sister Courtney as well. And we have a happy birthday to Cynthia Hugh, Nicosia Lawson, Joanna Thompson, and Pierre Connolly celebrating birthdays today as well. Let me double check, make sure I haven't missed any. And again, folks, to remind you that for the birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Yum. Daily school lunch menus are available to browse on the Yum website. Just visit yumcayman.ky for more information. I also want to take this opportunity to send our sincere condolences to Mr. George Shillette and his family in the most recent loss of Mr. Halsey Andrews as well. So we extend our sincere condolences to them also. So we already have questions coming in for the candidates. Of course, we'll share them later. We're going to take a commercial break now so that we can get our candidates into the studio. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Swanson Curry Ebanks, 1914 through 1989. Curry Ebanks was the oldest of 10 children of John Audnett and Celestia Elvira Ebanks and attended West Bay Primary School. Taught by some of the great Caymanian sea captains, he took command of his first ship at 17. He qualified as a master mariner at 21 and continued his life at sea until a car accident terminated his maritime career in 1960. He married 3 times and was widowed twice, and he fathered 8 children. He is best remembered for his victorious battle with the 1944 hurricane, which overtook his ship, the Jemson, en route from Swan Island to Grand Cayman.
At the height of the storm, he decided to demast the ship to prevent it from rolling over, which would have meant certain death for everyone aboard. During the next 8 days, the ship had to be demasted 3 times. Each time, Captain Curry had the sails put into a seaman's bag and attached to the bow to function as a sea anchor, guiding the ship purely by dead reckoning. When the storm subsided and he got his first confirmed sighting, he was 5 miles off East End.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair, a family-friendly event, Saturday, April 5th, 8:30 a.m. through noon. The Arc Sports Center, Cayman Bay. The annual adventure unleashing the magic of science, the wonderment of limitless exploration. Over 50 science projects and experiments representing budding scientists from schools across the Cayman Islands. Sourcing energy, exploring the environment, oceanography, agronomy, rocket propulsion, medical technology, drone technology, water security, eco-solutions, math, chemistry, physics, biology, engineering, nanotechnology. The Rotary Central Science Fair 2025, Saturday, April 5, Cayman Bay. Every child needs to see and feel the magic of science, the magic of Rotary.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Hey, Cayman parents, we get it. You're underslept, over-trafficked. You can barely find your sanity in the morning because you're still trying to find your kids' shoes and lunch boxes. Let Yum take some of the stress away. Every day, over 3,000 students enjoy delicious, nutritious meals from Yum. Over 5 million lunches served and counting. Private school parents? Browse the Yum Cayman app and order up to a month in advance or last minute by 12 a.m. the night before. Government school students? Just drop by the Yum canteen. No pre-orders needed. Yum can't help you find your sanity, but we can sure make your mornings just a bit easier. Check out daily menus at myschoolpos.com or visit yumcayman.ky to learn more.
The following is a paid political broadcast. The views, information, or opinions expressed in this forum are solely those of the participants of this event and do not represent the views of the management and staff of Radio Cayman.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, we have two of the candidates who represent the Cayman Islands National Party in the studio with us, and I'm going to briefly introduce them, give you their names, and they will do their own personal introduction as well. So I have the pleasure of having in the studio with me Miss Dawn Thomas.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. She's seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay in our parliament. And of course, she's a candidate in the upcoming April 30th general elections. Also in the studio with us, Mr. Myles. He is seeking to represent the constituency of Prospect. Folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Good morning to you, OC, and good morning to our listeners.
Yep. And even though your names and your images are plastered all over the place, I think it is good to reintroduce yourselves to our listeners and our viewers as well.
Sure.
Yeah, I we'll see. You asked the question off air, and why I'm doing this. After spending well over 30 years in youth development and certainly working with at-risk families, I think for me it's hearing the now more significant concerns of Caymanians about housing being unaffordable, food being unaffordable, health care being unaffordable. Our people can't retire anymore with decency because the cost of living is so high. A couple of days ago, I was speaking with a grandma. Well, I don't think she's a grandma, but she's 85 years old, and she's working 20 hours a week.
Wow.
Right? Because she can't pay her light bill, so she has to go back to work. I'm working with or meeting with two-parent homes who are buckling under the stress of their finances. It's becoming unaffordable for our kids, and that's why I'm here. It's certainly becoming unaffordable for the average Caymanian. Over the last 20 years, we haven't made Caymanians a priority and talking about investment directly into our people. What we've done is built a country, and while I can appreciate that we needed some of the infrastructure and we have lovely hotels and bars and restaurants and everything else, when we have young people that can't get jobs or can't start their careers despite being qualified and are being consistently held accountable because of their lack of experience, I find a huge concern with that, and that's why I'm in this race. I also believe that Caymanians are sick and tired of politicians misrepresenting them in prioritizing monuments rather than people. And I want to do something different. I want to invest in people. All my life, that's what I've done. I'm a public servant, and I am an investor of people. And I believe that in the next 4 years, we have to make a significant investment in our people in thriving. Too many of us are surviving. So that's why I'm in this race.
Okay, Ms. Thomas.
Hi, morning, everyone. Yeah, so for me, I think I sat down as I start to prepare for retirement, because I won't say my age. And it was very much looking at what I was going to do to retire. But then I also realized that my kids and the kids that are around me, their futures look bleak in terms of them being able to achieve what I have achieved in this life, in the Cayman Islands. Mm-hmm. And the landscape has definitely changed. Things have become harder for them to get. And I won't go into some of the issues. I'll echo some of the issues that Michael has stated, affordability of housing, cost of living. And these are things that are well known and prevalent, as well as the other things like traffic and just improvements overall in our education system and everything else. So one of my main reasons for running is that the future of our children is at stake. And the Cayman Islands will always be the Cayman Islands, but whether it will be for Caymanians is becoming a bigger question as the days goes on. And I think the more that I am exposed to all of, as Michael said, the issues that are affecting our Caymanian people, the more I am driven to run in this race. I too, I'm tired of the broken promises. I too, I'm tired of the misrepresentation or the, matter of fact, the missing representative, writing messages, requesting, asking for updates on issues that are never acknowledged or received. I think I've heard it every 4 years. I'm like everyone else. And then what really erodes my confidence is when people say, well, how do we know you're going to be different? And building back trust in government is going to be one of the most difficult things to achieve.
It is.
And when you walk and you're knocking on people's doors and they're saying, well, that's what I heard 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. That's what I heard 8 years ago. And I too, I would say exactly the same things they've said. So I have to sit down, I have to have the hard conversations about why I'm running, and I have to try to convince them that I am different, that I am not there for the power. I'm not there because I have an ego. I'm not there because I need the money. I'm running because I am doing it for them, the people. I am there to serve the people. I am there to protect our children's future. So I'm running this race to build back trust in government and try to protect the future of our children.
Okay. So speaking about regaining that trust and people's confidence, because I'm sure that on the trail you've heard some people say, I'm not going to vote. And it is your job to try to convince them, to do so as well. We have seen an increase in the number of registered voters. And as I've said before, I don't believe that those people made the effort to register and with no intention of voting, whatsoever. So how do you reach out to those people? What sort of message do you give them based on the concerns and that you have heard while out on the campaign trail?
I've up to about 10:30 last night. I started canvassing probably around 5 o'clock yesterday. I didn't get home until about 10:30. What I am doing now is going door to door. Our people no longer want to see us up on the stage with bright lights on, shouting down to them. It's not working. And while I'm always happy to have a rally or happy to be on the stage, people don't care about that anymore. They want you to look them in the eye, and they want you to be honest and upfront. I think one of the differences that our party has implemented was, I'm not going into any meeting making promises. People have been promised loads of things, from fixing their yard to putting their children on boards to ensuring that they had a park next to them. And what I'm sharing is what is actually in the budget. What is going to be priority? Because everything can't be priority. I think what politicians have consistently promised is somewhere down the line we have a printing press somewhere in government where we're printing $1 billion a month to pay for all of this stuff. What they've not told people was that we're borrowing that money. And that money is going to fall on the backs of their children and grandchildren. See, it looks good when a politician can come and say, I'm going to give you a park right next to your house, and I'm going to fix all of this stuff. And within all of that, I'm going to give you, like one man was told that he would be given welfare for the rest of his life. He didn't even have to sign up. He was just going to be taken care of, right? And I'm saying, and who told you that? Well, my incumbent told me that. My MP told me that. That is not true. You are actually going to have to log on to the Department of Financial Assistance and apply, right? No politician is going to give you $1,200 of government's money, because you're the government, right? No one's going to do that. And he was shocked, right? He was absolutely just surprised. So what we are doing different is I'm telling the truth, right? And where I'm meeting people is where they are, not where I want them to be. I'm not doing anything for a vote. What I'm doing is saying, here's what it is. Our country is no longer at a crossroads. We're at a cliff, and we're hanging on for dear life. We're being outnumbered. Everyone could see that. No one sits down and shares that we have almost 40,000 work permits, and our children can't get a job. Because these are the dinner table discussions that our folks are having, and this is what politicians don't want to actually discuss. So they can stay on their stages with all their bright lights, and they can shout down all the promises. It is not penetrating. 3.5 years ago when I ran as an independent, 350 people in Prospect that were registered did not cast a vote.
Wow.
Over 350. Everyone could check the records. It's there. Prospect had over 1,300 people registered. Only about 913 or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was over 900. So we had a lot of people that did not vote. Dawn and I was just discussing this outside. People are now more disengaged from it because they're saying, we as politicians, we only see them once a year that come in and sweep them off their feet and make all these promises that they know we're not going to deliver, but it's almost comical that we're coming in and saying all of these things. And I have no intentions of doing that because no one knows what we're going to find. We know that we have record, right? We know we have record debt. So how do we get through that? We're going to have to now do this as a community. And that's what that's my process now of getting, and people are now understanding where we're at.
I think to also add to that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
The question was the increased number of voters that we have right now. I think those people that haven't voted before, that haven't contributed to the democratic process, they have felt they're feeling the issues, they've seen the issues, and I think they could sit down and do nothing about it, or they could step up and do something about it. And I think for the increase in voters, I think that is the perspective to which they're coming from predominantly. I think we then look at the people that have voted that saying they're not voting anymore. And everything Michael has just described is exactly why. Broken promises, missing MPs, lavishness of government and being on stage and lights, but not actually tackling the problem. And I think that's very evident when you look at the spending that they do. They will spend money on a building, but they won't spend money on education, or they won't spend it on improving the traffic system. And why? Those things simply are not priority when they're voted in. They seem to be something completely different.
Okay, we're going to go to our 8 o'clock news. When we return, one of our listeners, they really early bird, 7:39. They posed the question, can you ask the candidates what are their views of having a parliamentary session once a year in Cayman Brac? And we can address that question when we return from our 8 o'clock news. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Conner. Radio Cayman time check now, 8 a.m. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
Feast without the fuss.
Make Foster's part of your tradition this year with our full holiday feast.
For $94.99, you can feed up to 8 with a full meal. Order online, pick up in store.
Choose your main from our 12-hour smoked pork, oven-roasted turkey, or maple-glazed ham.
Or indulge your guests with our extra special herb-roasted leg of lamb feast or a 7-pound fried snapper for $119.99.
Order your full Easter feast online today at fosters.ky.
Foster's, better because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sun.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Hurricane experts call for an above-average 2025 season. The team at Colorado State University forecasts 17 named storms, up from the average 14. The team predicts 9 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes for this year's Atlantic Basin hurricane season. Current La Nina conditions are likely to transition to neutral conditions in the next couple of months. However, the CSU team says there, quote, remains considerable uncertainty as to what the phase of those conditions will be in by summer and fall. Sea surface temperatures across the eastern and central Atlantic are generally warmer than normal, but not as warm as they were last time this year. The warmer than normal tropical Atlantic, combined with likely neutral conditions, typically provides a, quote, more conducive dynamic and thermodynamic environment for hurricane formation and intensification. CSU anticipates an above-average probability for major hurricanes making landfall along the continental United States coastline and in the Caribbean. Drugs and bad driving. Officers target crimes in Cayman Brac as the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service continues its Day of Action initiative. Here's Radio Cayman's Felicia Rankin-Solins.
During the Day of Action, officers attended a property on Dennis Forrester Road, Stake Bay, and conducted a search under the Misuse of Drugs Act. A nursery of ganja plants was discovered during the search, consisting of 13 pots and 90 plants. The plants were seized and destroyed, and investigations into the matter are ongoing. Officers also responded to a report of a drug parcel which had been found at sea. The parcel, weighing approximately 23 pounds, was handed over to police for destruction. The Day of Action also involved an island-wide traffic enforcement drive, during which officers conducted stop checks of dozens of motorists. Officers issued 3 traffic tickets, and persons were warned for intended prosecution for 8 other traffic offenses, for which they will be required to attend the next sitting of Cayman Brac Summary Court. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
In the lead up to tomorrow's Cayman Islands Autism and Neurodevelopment Symposium, folks in the Brac hit the streets to show their support for World Autism Day. Here's CITV's Levita Dobson.
Members of the Cayman Brac community participated in the inaugural Autism Awareness and Acceptance Walk on World Autism Awareness Day to celebrate and advocate for the unique and differently abled members of their community. The community walk was organized by the Layman E. Scott Senior High School Special Education Needs team and was led by members of the Cayman Islands Cadet Corps Marching Band. Dressed in blue or proudly wearing the bespoke design t-shirts from the Junior Achievement team, participants conveyed the message to accept, adapt, and advocate. Throughout the month of April, the Cayman Brac Museum's lights will shine the color blue, and the schools in Cayman Brac will engage students in activities to promote understanding, inclusion, and acceptance.
And 5 international musicians delighted dozens of people on the lawns of the National Gallery Thursday night as the Cayman Arts Festival continues its Music by the Sea Sonoro Cayman Islands Week.
We are very happy to be here in this beautiful place, and today is a special night, a Latino night.
After a private show at the Public Library on Wednesday entitled Serenades, the group braved what they described as the hot, humid night, although it was a bit chilly for locals, to present Latin Worlds, featuring pieces which, you can probably guess, featured a Latin flair. The Sonoro series finale, Fairy Tales, is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Elmsley Memorial United Church. For tickets, head to eventbrite.com. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. China has announced a raft of new tariffs and trade restrictions targeting the United States in retaliation to the wide-ranging import taxes announced by President Trump 2 days ago. Beijing's new measures include an additional 34% tax on all American imports. Stock markets across the world have extended their losses as they digest the likely impact of the tariffs. European markets continue to fall during the morning, with the German share index down more than 4%. South Korea's former president has apologized for his actions after the Constitutional Court upheld his impeachment, immediately stripping him of power. It said Yoon Suk-yeol's short-lived decision to impose martial law last December had a serious negative impact. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
It's back. It's crispy. It's delicious. St. Ignatius Youth Ministry presents Friday Fish Fry Nights. 6 weeks of flavor. March 14th, 21st, 28th, April 4th, and 11th. Serving from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the St. Ignatius School Canteen. Dine in or take out. The menu includes fried or baked snapper, $17. Mahi-mahi, $15. Served with fries or rice. Coleslaw, escovitch, fritters, and more. Drinks, just $1. Free desserts while they last. Eat good. Do good. Every bite supports our youth ministry trip to the Steubenville High School Youth Conference in Orlando, Florida this summer. Come hungry. Leave happy. See you there.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Of course, let's take a look at your weather now. 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's now presently 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the east at 9 miles per hour. Relative humidity 88%. The barometric pressure is at 30.03 inches and falling. Synopsis: fresh winds and moderate to rough seas expected to prevail across the northwest Caribbean through the next 24 hours as an area of high pressure remains anchored across the western Atlantic Ocean. Our forecast calls for mainly sunny skies, becoming partly cloudy at times with a 20% chance of showers in the afternoon. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet. Small craft should continue to exercise caution over the open waters. Then tonight, mainly fair skies, 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. And seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet. Small craft should exercise caution over the open waters. Low tide is coming up at 10:33. It's going to be high at 3:46 this afternoon, low at 10:15 tonight. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through to Saturday evening. Thereafter, a gradual decrease in winds and seas are expected through Monday morning. And that, my friends, is your latest weather.
I was undercover and had just recovered the stolen artwork, but...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with managing my insurance?
Well, long story long. I found the art thief in France, but ended up becoming somewhat of a local celebrity. So I had to stick around for a while. But I was able to handle all my insurance needs with CG's online portal.
The online portal. Safe, convenient, simple. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Cayman, could it be you? Tortuga's 10K giveaway is back, and someone's walking away with $10,000 in cash. Every time you spend $25 at Tortuga, in-store or online at tortuga.ky, you get a shot at winning big. As well as $10,000 in cash, we've got thousands in giveaways to hand out every week. Think staycations, the latest iPhones, exclusive experiences, and more. Get in to win. Visit tortuga.ky for the full terms and conditions.
And now a paid political message from the Progressives.
The time has come, Cayman. The PPM is ready to share our vision, to show you that we are the proven stable choice for our islands. PPM Manifesto launch this Saturday, April 5th, Compass Green, 7 p.m. Bring your family and your friends to an evening of connection, information, and leadership that you can trust. Cayman's future is in our hands. Now let's move forward together.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. We're moving forward. See the light again.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
All right, once again, good morning, my friends. As you make your way into Georgetown or whatever destination you're heading to, majority of traffic still on the Linford Pearson Crew Road going through Southtown as well. Some through Walker's Road at South Church Street feeding into Seafarers Way. Crew Road onto Shedden Road and Bobby Thompson Way feeding into Halder Avenue. And of course, traffic coming off the SLE Tibbetts, southward bound direction towards the Butterfield. North Sound Road heading east towards Dorsey Drive, seeing some traffic. Of course, some traffic along House Russell Way leading up to the Butterfield roundabout. We see some traffic there as well. That's of course the major traffic points. Most streets inside Georgetown taking in the influx of traffic. And of course, heading to the eastern districts, you've got light traffic as you make your way out and about here on Grand Cayman. Little Cayman and Cayman Brac, got yourself some nice traffic this time of the morning, especially Little Cayman with minimal traffic. Be safe out there. Look out for pedestrians, those on e-scooters, e-bikes, motorbikes, bicycles. And be safe out there. Have yourself a great weekend. That's your latest traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo footlong cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points, or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo footlong cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Oh, don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair, a family-friendly event Saturday, April 5th, 8:30 a.m. through noon. The Arc Sports Center, Camana Bay. The annual adventure unleashing the magic of science, the wonderment of limitless exploration. Over 50 science projects and experiments representing budding scientists from schools across the Cayman Islands. Sourcing energy, exploring the environment, oceanography, agronomy, rocket propulsion, medical technology, drone technology, water security, eco-solutions, math, chemistry, physics, biology, engineering, nanotechnology. The Rotary Central Science Fair 2025, Saturday, April 5, Camana Bay. Every child needs to see and feel the magic of science, the magic of Rotary.
For the record, with Orrett Conner.
Good morning and welcome
back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, I will tell you that we have members of the Cayman Islands National Party in the studio with us. Ms. Dawn Thomas, who is seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay in our parliament, and Mr. Michael Myles, who's seeking to represent the constituency of Prospect. We have a few questions, and I will sort of like share them as we go rather than doing them all at one time.
Sure.
So before we went to the news, we had a question about at least having one parliamentary session over in Cayman Brac. And what are your thoughts in relation to that?
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. I mean, we're all one country. And I remember many moons ago,
it used to exist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we had cabinet over there. There are cabinet meetings over there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not
We're not opposed to that.
I'm not certain why it ended at this point.
Certainly.
And it's not like travel's expensive.
That's true. It's easier for Parliament to go than to bring all of the people from the Brac and Little Cayman over here. Yes.
Yeah.
So the early part of the conversation centered around our future, our youth.
Yeah.
And, both of you have been involved in some form or the other in relation to youth activities, youth training and stuff. Would like you to talk more about your involvement, as well, and what you have achieved, what you still would like to achieve as far as our youth is concerned. And I think, Mr. Myles, your entity is called Inspire Cayman. Tell us about
Inspire Cayman Training. Inspire Cayman Training was formed 6 years ago. Really, it was my frustration that we weren't doing enough to bridge the gap between young people leaving school and young people entering the workforce. So many youngsters that I worked with, even as a social worker many moons ago, were just going to prison because they were coming out of school. They couldn't get a job, so they got involved in crime, and off they went to the prison system. So after working 6 years in the Ministry of Education, I transitioned to Hope Academy for 4. And while at Hope Academy, we formed Inspire Cayman Training to bridge that gap. What we have now done is we have now bridged the gap between not just training but employment. Mm-hmm. So we've taken that on as well. We work directly with WORC with the Ready to Work training program and other I would say upskilling programs. So we have a program called General Training that we provide Caymanians who are employed gainfully but want to actually elevate. So we provide them, the government pays for them to come back in and they do evening study. So we've made it very flexible. So they do online training. But our Ready to Work program is what we drive hard.
Okay.
And we do soft skills in that. And we also do vocational training in that as well. So the program is working, OC. What we've also done is implemented an apprenticeship internship program. We call it Inspired to Hired. So they come to Inspire for 3 months, and then we transition them to employment for 3 months. WORC has been an incredible partner in this program. They have taken a lot of advice from us. We've worked very closely together in creating this. And because of that, we now have young people moving from training to employment fluidly because we have developed partnerships with, I would say, well over 40 employers. Mm-hmm. We are now being recruited from because employers are coming to us, okay. And now employers are taking our youngsters. Work has invested in their apprenticeship program because we pay them to make that transition. We put them on our insurance if that needs to happen, and then after that they're employed. And here's what we're now seeing. Our kids, our young people are now staying in employment over a year, and they're now creating careers. The Ministry of Education has come online in late 2023. They developed a TVET grant. So once they finish that, or at least they're still involved in gainful employment or in our program, young people can then apply to the Ministry of Education once a quarter, and they can get scholarship TVET grants to apply for things like water sports, healthcare, tourism, construction training, IT. I mean, we have over 2,000 courses. So I'm doing this on a small scale. Mm-hmm. What I have said to my party is that I believe as a government, we need to do it at a national scale, right? All of the things, what I am doing at a small scale or see need to be in our public school system. From the moment a child is in years 5 and 6, we should be ensuring that they understand where the jobs are, right? We need to do general training with our young people. The moment that they hit John Gray, Clifton Hunter, we should start focusing from year 7 to year 10. That age group right there, we have to start to get young people engaged into what careers they want. Because like what we were discussing, education and immigration really do not share information. The Ministry of Labor, the Department of Immigration or Work now know where all the labor is being created. Well, why aren't we creating curriculums to suit that? You know, I was on, I think on Wednesday night, and I was saying to the folks who were interviewing me that one of the disheartening things is that we have so many careers in our country, and the average child do not know that those exist. Well, what CINP wants to do is ensure that sort of career development is put in from year 7. So if you want to be a electrician, let's start that in year 7. And as you transition out of school in year 12, you are a qualified electrician because you've been doing that for the last 4 years.
We're not saying children have to stick to it, but they can definitely make movements. I think as a party, for sure, Michael mentioned it, we've clearly discussed it. But we also want to look at changing the curriculum. The curriculum hasn't really changed as much. As we all know, we're in the age of technology. Children can come out and be videographers. That's a very well-paying job. These are things that they're not exposed to right now in schools. It's math, English, science. Technology is like a computer thing, but it's not these new careers that are popping up in today's industries. Yes. So we're teaching the same old things, but and failing them at that, and then on top of that, then we're not exposing them to the things that they could be doing. We have a lot of creative. They have kids that are creative. Their minds are creative. Then we need to understand who they are and nurture that creativity and put them in, and pair them with jobs that exhilarate that and that enhance that for them. We also have, people that are very technical in nature, good with their hands. Then we gear children towards that direction. There's so much we could be doing better. We're just not doing it. It's time to start doing it.
And just to add on what Dawn just said, I mean, things like entrepreneurship, right? We are always training our children to be employees. What I am doing at Inspire is train our children to be employers. Why? Like they have brilliant, as Dawn just said, they have brilliant ideas on what sort of companies that they want. We have a lot of different industries that I believe that we can start, and jobs, things like cybersecurity. We know it's necessary now. AI, right? Like it's here. Like the future is now, right? We've been talking about things like food insecurity, but yet we're not producing farmers, right? Why, right? But we can't do it when they're 19 and 20 years old. It's too late then. We have to start to plant the seed when they're in year 7 or years 5 to let them know that these are viable careers that they can get into. I started talking to our kids about things like e-commerce companies, right? No one is walking into a bank anymore. In every retail store across the globe, they're cashless, right? Why are we not creating that technology from Cayman? Things like IT, renewable energy, solar energy. All of those things is what the world is investing in now. And I think our future is in front of us. Our children are very, very creative. We need to arm them now with the possibilities of them becoming their own business owners.
Okay, one of our listeners has written and said, can you ask your guests what their opinion is on a hard 5-year rollover policy across the board, including government employees?
I'm not opposed to that idea, but I think we have to look at it holistically. For instance, maybe it's not 5 years across the board for every type of industry or sector, but maybe we do start to break things down into certain industries have certain caps and where they go. There's nothing wrong with those ideas. We've never looked at doing anything different than what we do. Right now we have a cap for, I think, 7 years across the board. There's no reason it has to be that way. This is now the opportune time, and this government coming in has the opportune time to sit down when you're starting to revamp some of the existing laws and think about where we are today. This is 2025. Why do we keep doing the same things we've always done? Let's sit down. Let's think outside the box. And this is where my strong suit is, as most people will know.
Okay.
To re-engineer the business processes that exist. Let's start to think about what will benefit us, but also what will benefit the companies that are here that are relying on these positions. So not just say it's 5 years across the board, because maybe it doesn't work in certain areas or expertise, but maybe 2 years might work for certain other areas of expertise. So there's nothing wrong with that. The issue that we've had is the crux of everything that we get to is the inability to take any action.
Yeah.
Action is always missing, which is why every 4 years we're sitting down and we're talking about the same things over and over and over. And the people are losing trust in our government. People are disenfranchised by what's been going on. There are so many bright ideas but we never, ever action them.
One of our listeners has remarked about the salary increase of members of parliament, and I would say that when we compare the salaries of our MPs here in the Cayman Islands,
it's insane.
They far exceed many more, and I believe including the United Kingdom as well. So they want to know, would you, as if you're elected, would you continue along that trend in terms of increases in salary? What would you do
Absolutely
as far
not.
as salary?
I think the first thing I'd do is give it back, the increase. I would. I think as a party we would agree to that.
Yeah.
Why don't we just give it back? And then why increasing the salaries, it makes no sense to me. As I'm gonna hammer this home today. If you're not when you're in a job and it's a job performance, you get a job performance increase when you do good at your job. These people that we have elected have failed us time and time again.
And given themselves
and then given themselves an increase because they think they deserve it. Yeah. I think that I think it's time we start holding them accountable. They don't deserve it. They didn't do anything in the last 4 years that made any of the lives that we're talking about today any better. For instance, I was in a home in the past week with a lady who's been in a job 35 years. It is clear that the company is pushing her through the door. Our severance packages have not been looked at in years. So it's cheaper for them to marginalize her and push her out and hire someone fresh in. When they do that to our people, we need to hold them accountable, and that should be in dollars. So then we get into this where here's what's happening to our people, and we've done nothing to help them, but yet we're giving ourselves increases every year. And on top of the increases in salaries, they're also then paying $60,000 a year for a constituency office with no accountability on where that money is spent. So who knows if they're actually using that $60,000 as well for personal. These are things that we know about. They're there. They're written in the law, so they're not illegal. But it's time to start changing those laws and holding government accountable on its cost and its transparency.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, Ms. Thomas, you mentioned, constituency offices. Want to talk some more about that and what are your plans in terms of establishing a constituency office? And along with that, your views on advisory district councils. 2009, that provision was placed in our constitution, and while we may have some sort of semblance of advisory district councils that some members of parliament have created, we haven't put any legislation into effect. Legislation was drafted. We know now that it may not necessarily be fit for the political arrangement that we have now, but those are minor things that have to be done to perfect it and have a law as far as advisory district councils are concerned. So we'd like to hear from you about that. Constituency offices and advisory district councils. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back. shortly.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. Oh, don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, we have two members from the Cayman Islands National Party seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay in our parliament, Ms. Dawn Thomas, and the constituency of Prospect, Mr. Michael Myles. Before we went to the commercial break, we were talking about constituency offices as well as advisory district councils. Some other candidates that I have spoken to speak about the fact that it's so difficult to find commercial space. We know that there are some members of parliament who don't have district offices or operate from their homes, and some have been severely criticized, for doing that as well. What are your plans as far as
before we get into
offices?
the district councils
Sure.
or constituency offices? One of the things that I want to touch on, just on what Dawn talked about in terms of the sheer insane salary increases that we've given elected officials. In addition to what she's talking about rolling that back, I absolutely agree, and I think our party would back us in that. But here's another thing that we have also done that inflated the egos of politicians. We have given everybody a car. Like, we've given all ministers, like, we bought them thousands of dollars worth of vehicles, and yet the average person can't pay their utility bill. So when I look at the sheer package that a minister gets in compared to senators and congressmen and all of these folks across, even regionally and internationally, I mean, you're talking about $200,000 for a person who wouldn't have even gotten a job in the private sector. That the only job that they would qualify for is a popularity contest that we often run every 4 years, and they can't do that well. So I'm shocked that we continue to go down this road. I can drive my own car to work. Like everybody, I think, has a car. Some of us has two.
I'm happy to pay my own gas.
So why do we actually need the government to buy us a car? Like that blew me away. So I just wanted to say that for the record. This is not something that we are going to be doing. I want, Caymanians to have a clear understanding. I don't need anyone to buy a car for me, and I don't need anyone to buy gas for me. If I'm earning a salary, I think it's my responsibility to put gas in my car and my responsibility to maintain my car, right? So I just want to make sure that we put that out there. In terms of constituency offices, yes, I believe that these things must take place, and in particular in Red Bay and in Prospect. Unfortunately, yes, we are sometimes hammered by there's no commercial space in those areas. So people have converted houses into offices. The unfortunate thing is that these buildings or whatever we have as offices have to be multifunctional. And here's what I say by this, right? I've met with a number of folks within Prospect that have said, why can't we have JP services in those offices? We don't do that. Why do we have to drive to Georgetown to the government administration building when we have a lot of JPs in that area? I've had people who've proposed, Michael, did you know that we, and I do know this because I have the voters registration, we have an enormous amount of doctors that live in the Prospect area. Why can't we have like a, once a quarter, once a month, health screening, right, that these doctors can volunteer at? We can put that right in that office. So in particular, our elderly people or disabled don't have to drive to a clinic or Georgetown Hospital and wait for hours, right? We can put those things in. There's so many things that we can do out of those offices, other than giving out plywood, other than giving out, food cards and so forth. We can actually do a lot more. One of the things that I do at Inspire is financial literacy. I love it. It saved my life 35 years or 15 years ago. Sorry. I was baptized in the Dave Ramsey program, and my wife and I, my family and I have stuck to that. I teach that at the center. Those are things that I will be looking to put in because people need to learn to also, if the government's going to be putting themselves in a budget that we maintain and at least control, then our community needs to be doing the same, because sometimes people are asking for just unrealistic things. I'm not getting elected to pay, anyone's mortgage. I need to help you manage your finances so your mortgage is paid or your light bill is paid, right? There's a lot of folks that are using their funds to do a lot of things, and that doesn't include making sure that they can take care of their families. So we need to put some decency back in this as well. But those constituency offices can be run to where they're more effective, not just as a place where we hire a person, put them in to answer phone calls of what people needs are, but we are actually, effectively helping the community understand government budgets and so forth. So that's what I'll be looking to do within the Prospect community.
Okay, Ms. Thomas.
I think what you're going to hear from us today, one of the things you should end up with very clearly is that we are not thinking the same way that other people have thought before us. So when you mention constituency offices, yes, we absolutely plan to put one in. Obviously, we've seen people also rent their homes out in those areas and move in with family because of whatever reasons as well. So we know that it's possible. We know that it happens. We have people that have turned their houses into rent, split them up and turned them into rental properties to get an income. So whilst there is no, I would say, a lot of public space in those areas, there are things that we can do in areas that we can look at to get a constituency office. But as Michael says, we want to go beyond just a person answering the phone. There are other ideas that we have about bringing services to the area for that are well needed without people having to travel to town. So not only do we want to put them in, and finding space is something we will do if elected, we definitely want to ensure that they are multifaceted. One of the things that's also come up for me in the Red Bay area is that we have the beat officers. We need a location for them in the area. We need them more accessible. And that beat officers, if we can find a location, would also serve for me as a safe house. Something's come up in my early days of canvassing that I think having a safe house where a child or someone can go to when they feel threatened, something that you can get to, is absolutely needed. Yeah. It's a place of protection. And I think it's something that we need to implement sooner rather than later. And I think, like I said, we want to go beyond the constituency office. We want to make it something that people can utilize for multi reasons.
Good point.
It has to be community embedded
Yeah.
rather than just a place where an elected official works out of.
Okay, one of our listeners has written in and said in reference to the earlier topic of short-term assistance in the form of handouts, what would the candidates do for hard-working people who just require a handout? And they go on to say an example of a handout is persons with property free and clear that has building permits for years, and the banks are just not lending the Caymanian people to give them a chance to change their lives.
Good
So it has
question.
to do with,
right?
So
we talked
mortgages.
a lot about, we have the Cayman Islands Development Bank. It's significantly underutilized, right? And of course, commercial banks, in their usual self, they're making record profits because everything becomes a tax. Any transaction in a commercial bank, they are going to tax you on at this point or put a fee on. So what we've been talking about as a party is let's fund the Cayman Islands Development Bank. That same person that you just read that question, he can then go to the Cayman Islands Development Bank, apply for a mortgage or whatever sort of loan that he needs to put something on his property, and it's done at a locked-in interest rate. Because we know, I say to folks all the time, right? My oldest is 29 years old. She is earning decent money. She wants a little house, not even a house to build, but she just want to buy a little apartment to get out from paying rent. So I sent her to the bank a few years ago. The bank would have preferred to loan her a $50,000 loan to buy a car than to give her a loan. And she's making good money. She's just no kids. She's comfortable. She's stable. And I sent her to several banks, and no one would give her a loan despite her making a really reasonable income, but they would prefer to give her a car loan. I think it's fundamentally wrong. I think what we are planning is putting in legislation that, one, we cannot allow banks to consistently go up on interest rates at the harshest times when people can't afford the current mortgage that they're paying now. Like a guy told me the other day, his mortgage went up by $1,000. So now he cannot afford to pay his light bill. He cannot afford to buy food because all he's paying right now is his mortgage. Do I need to give that kid a hand up? Absolutely. He's not coming to me and saying, hey, I don't want to work. I just want to just kick back. He's saying, man, I work hard. I have a young daughter. I'm afraid that I might lose my house. How can you help me? And I'm helping him now. I've said, okay, let's put a budget together, right? How do we maneuver? And there's some things you're going to have to let go for now. Like, you're going to have to let go your helper for now. Because I know you're a single dad, but here's what we have to do. And him and I were coming up with all sorts of different things to be creative. But does he need a hand up? Absolutely. But a bank, if he doesn't pay that, he will lose that house that he's been paying on for part of the last 5 years. And I think that's fundamentally wrong.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break before we go there. This person says, good morning, OC. I am more and more impressed by CINP, that is Cayman Islands National Party candidates. They each speak to the main issue we, the public, are concerned about with returning incumbents' fiscal responsibility. No other group or party is speaking to this much. Keep this topic at the forefront. We are listening. So
thank you, caller.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is advising the public that it will close early on Friday, the 11th of April at 2 p.m. to facilitate a staff function. The office will resume normal business on Monday, the 14th of April at 9 a.m. For more information, contact 345-649-7678 or email passport, the and signed icon, corporate @gov.ky.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Conner.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Afternoon, it will be Talk Today. And in the studio with me, we have two members of the Cayman Islands National Party, Ms. Dawn Thomas, who's seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay in our parliament, and Mr. Michael Myles, who's seeking to represent the constituency of Prospect. We have several questions coming in, and if we, for some reason, don't, and we won't, get an opportunity to share all of them with our two guests in the studio, not to worry. At 12:15, they will be back in the studio with me on Talk Today as well. So it will simply be a continuation of this morning's discussion as well. But I know that in the time that we have, that you want to talk about the advisory district councils and other things that have been raised as well. We have one about the labor relations bill 2015, and we'll talk about that this afternoon as well, Ms. Thomas. Sure.
So the district councils, it's in the law. It's there. It's never been implemented, or I think it has been attempted.
In the Constitution, yeah.
It's in the Constitution, and it's been attempted. Not sure why it's failed. I think there's always been a discussion about who holds the power and where the decisions are made. But I think it's very, very simple. At the end of the day, each MP is put in to serve the people of a constituency. Having a district council makes absolute sense because you can't get around, as I'm finding it difficult now, to 1,400 people. Yeah. There's got to be a way to collate that information and summarize that information so that I am able to act on that information. So having that body in place is a necessity. Mm-hmm. It needs to happen. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I will commit to doing within a very short term. Mm-hmm. 60 days if I wanted to put a cap on it. I'll try to get it implemented. And the reason it is necessary, because at the end of the day, the needs of the community must be heard. The voices must be listened to. Even if it's potholes, even if it's CCTV, security, flooding, these things. But also, it has to be a way for them to express, what's happening to them personally, from a national level. Express traffic issues, education systems, what's wrong. There has to be a way to collate that information and get it to me, because at the end of the day, I am going to be there to serve the people. And if I don't listen to the people, how am I going to serve them? So I'm not sure what the roadblocks have been, but it is something that I definitely want to see moved forward. And I think as a party, we all agree on it. And so I as you will hear from me and Michael and my team, we're people of action. Yeah. We were going to prioritize it, obviously, because you can't tackle everything at once. And once we prioritize it, we're going to come up with an action plan. We're going to get it done. That's just the way it's going to work.
And do you have a view in terms of structure, whether or not we will need 19 advisory district councils, or whether or not we, for this purpose, we go back to our original electoral districts, and then you have each of the constituencies represented? Let's say, for instance, West Bay, 4 constituencies. So you would have an advisory district council for West Bay, but they would be represented by each of those constituencies, something like that. Would you say?
Yeah, I think I think the 19. Let's just use West Bay. It's got 4 areas. I think if you're down to the community concerns, I think the 4 areas make sense.
Okay.
Because it's easy to tackle a community on that level and have people responsible for that area. But I think when we get to the national issues, the things that the people of like West Bay want to see, if we're using them as an example, I think those need to be collated. Because what you're going to find is there's going to be a theme, and that theme is going to be the main pressure points that they're feeling, and those things are going to, I think, collating them gives it more voice, gives us a sense of what is the priority for West Bay. Yeah. So, for instance, if it's education, or if it's traffic, or if it's something else, I think getting it at a higher level will enable us to prioritize the 3 key points that, as the MPs then go to work, because you have 4, they are singing the same tune. When you sit down to have a meeting, there's 4 of us at this table that we're bringing the same concerns for West Bay. Because at the end of the day, West Bay is the best Bay, they say.
Mr. Myles?
Similar to Dawn, I don't see how they're functioning without it. Prospect is a very large landmass, and when people are asking me, I would say in the top 3 anyways. We did a survey in January. Our party created a survey that we commissioned over each constituency, just to really pinpoint what are some of the challenges that each constituency was going through. There are 3 things that came out of that survey. The first one was, I do not see my MP, or I don't have connection to my MP. That was the number 1 thing that came out of the survey. Because of how large that landmass is, and like Dawn's constituency, mine is over 1,400 as well, but that's just voters. I would anticipate, with all the buildings of apartments and condos and homes that have gone up in Prospect, I would anticipate that Prospect is probably over 3,000-4,000 people that live in that one constituency. So it's a huge landmass. I do not understand how people have done away or haven't implemented it, because the people that live in the constituency have great ideas. Like all of the things I told you about health checks and JP services and garbage cleanups and so forth. That didn't come from me. It came from me going to house, talking to people, and them expressing themselves about the things that they'd like to see. So I want a district council because I think it is going to help me reach out to all of the folks. Here's another critical thing that I believe that a district council will help with. All of these people are from the community. So they'll know when an elderly person lacks some sort of resource, and we can help that, rather than me trying to go around to everyone every single month or quarter. Another thing that I want to stamp out is corruption. Absolutely. What happens now is that MPs are only taking care of the people that they assume votes for them. And I've heard that come up time and time again.
I've seen it.
And you use the word assume because they don't really know, because no one knows when you go into that voting booth.
Here's what's happening. They're being asked. MPs are asking constituents who they voted for.
But you can tell them anything.
Right? And most people, like I had a guy who told me that they told the MP that they voted for Austin. So that person didn't receive any level of support. Right? So I think that's wrong.
I want to get, and I'm going to fix, so I'm a techie as well. That most people are. My background is accounting and technology.
Okay.
What I want to do is to create a way to monitor community concerns publicly. And if you are a registered voter in that area, you should have access to the single information. There's no more controlling WhatsApp chat groups because it's your voter pool. There's no more. That takes away from what you are put there to do and to serve. You are there to serve the entire community. And to hold your little pet people close because you think that's going to be your way back into office erodes the very moral reason you were put there. Because you were there to serve 1,400 people, not your 400 people that is going to vote you back in. So that is the type of corruption we must get out. We do not need it. And that is why we do not make any progress, not only as a community, but nationally. This is the reason. If someone is doing that, that says everything about them. So stop voting them back in. Because today you're their friend, you turn against them tomorrow and you're not. So that chicken you got last year, you're not getting this year. And that is the stuff that people have to look at.
It's prevalent now.
They're giving you $300 today. You don't, and you change your mind. You go to somebody else's rally and you sit in the front. You're not getting $300 next year.
That's the level of intimidation that's happening as well.
That's the behavior we have to get out, people. And I'm going to speak private. That is what we are working to change. The Cayman Islands National Party is going to serve all of our members, not the ones. If you don't like me, it doesn't mean that I don't work for you. I am going in to work for 1,400 people. And some may like me, some may not, but that is who I am.
That's what it is for me as well.
And even though you are going to be back with us this afternoon, I want to give both of you an opportunity, for some closing comments for this segment at least. I want to start with you, Ms. Thomas.
Yeah, so I just want to thanks for the opportunity, and I'll be back this afternoon. But I think we're on a good roll here. What I do want to get to is people's questions, because I think the more we can provide answers to those questions, the more they will understand a bit about who I am and who we are as a party. So I think I also want to speak public to the District of Red Bay. I want to say that I'm taking my time to get around to houses, but some houses I'm in there long. People are struggling. There are some serious concerns. And I don't want to walk out. I want to listen. I want them to know that their voice is heard and that I am taking their requests and their concerns seriously. So I know we'll come back this afternoon, but we'll talk about that.
And we encourage people to send in their questions in the meantime. 925-3261 is our WhatsApp number.
I think for me, what I want folks in Prospect to have a clear understanding is that I want to meet people. I want to go house to house, and that's what I've been doing. Like Dawn, I've been scheduling a lot of one-to-one meetings. While yard meetings are great, people want more personalized attention. They want to be able to say things in confidence. And if you want that, please give me a call, 939-1301, or send me an email, michael.myles@nationalparty.ky. And I'd like to just come and talk to you, because I think I get more done by listening, understanding issues, and helping people prioritize what's important for them. As I said last night, I met a phenomenal lady, elderly person who's, doing a phenomenal job in taking care of her husband. I left from there and went to a family who invited all of their family members over because they had questions like education, training. They had issues like retirement, entrepreneurship. We talked about the peer and where we stood. Each of us stood. We had differences of opinion on what immigration may look like. So I enjoy that, and I want to make sure that people have a clear understanding that I'm not here to agree with everything that folks say, but I'm also here to tell the truth and where I stand. And if that caused, last night, a guy basically said, if you're not going to represent the development of the pier as you get in, then I'm not voting for you. And that's okay, right? This is a democracy. We can disagree. You're right. We can agree to disagree, and that's okay. But what I want are people to be able to give me a call. Let's sit down and have a chat about it. Let's agree to disagree, but we have to agree on how we move forward in serving our entire community and not just a selected few of the community. And I think that, unfortunately, that's sometimes what happens.
Contact numbers if people want to contact you.
Mine is 939-1301, and my email is michael.myles@nationalparty.ky.
And mine is 925-000-1000. 0998, and it's don.thomas@nationalparty.ky.
So, folks, you have heard the voices of Ms. Dawn Thomas and Mr. Michael Myles, two of the candidates representing the Cayman Islands National Party in the upcoming April 30th general elections. They are seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay in the case of Ms. Dawn Thomas and Prospect in the case of Mr. Michael Myles. They will be on Radio Cayman's other talk show this afternoon, Talk Today, and either fortunately or unfortunately, I will be the host as well. I'm certainly looking forward to it and looking forward to the continuation of these discussions as well. Meanwhile, we're going to go to our headline news. When we return, the phone lines will be open for you to talk about some of the concerns that you have, as well. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after headline news.
The preceding was a paid political broadcast.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, and right. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Department of Education Services invites the public to the National Children's Festival of the Arts Cayman Brac Final Concert. It's taking place tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at the Aston Ruddy Center. China hits back against Donald Trump's tariff, saying it will impose an additional 34% tax on U.S. goods from next week. European markets, meanwhile, have fallen further in response, with indexes in London, Berlin, and Paris all down more than 3%. Trump announced a 54% import tax for China, one of the highest rates for any country. Meanwhile, a Treasury minister tells the BBC the UK is working, quote, at pace to secure a deal on trade with the U.S. And the Trump administration has fired the head of both the National Security Agency and U.S. Cyber Command. The removal of General Timothy Howe comes amid what appears to be a wider purge of top security officials at the agency and at the White House. Democrats have said they are, quote, deeply disturbed by the move and says it jeopardizes national security. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the record, with Orrett Conner.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Phone lines are open. I think we have one caller already. I'll just remind you that we have a toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. So if you're calling from a Flow number, the toll-free number to dial is 1-800-534-8255. Or the numbers 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. We do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Who are you expecting?
Who else?
Candidate?
Huh? Who else?
Candidate or what?
This is the 2029 candidate.
Yeah. OC, boy, it seems like we're in a lot of problems. The small island, I understand there's incumbents that are coming out with 49 pages of manifesto. I think I heard something like that on your radio.
Yes. Yeah, the manifesto is going to be, the document is going to be 40-something pages. It will consist of, several things in terms of what they plan on doing, what has been done before, various things.
I wonder if most of that is what needs to be done, because that means they've not been doing a lot. If we got 49 pages of flowery words that they think should be done, I honestly hope we'll see a lot of that as amendments to what foolishness they have already implemented that are not in the best interest of the Cayman people. I hope that's a lot of amendments that we're looking at.
Okay.
And instead of, because we can't have that many, I know we got some problems, but I don't think we got that many problems. And I don't see where they can be displaying all those things that they have done, because I've been here all my life, and I don't think that anyone can be displaying 49 pages of things that they have done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like for a lot of these returners to identify, reprint their manifesto and tick off all the things that they have done, completed on the manifesto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I saw a lot of manifestos, and they always come with them, and they always repeat the same things that they told us they were going to do. The first time we elect them are still things that they are posting on these flower-looking, beautiful manifestos, and with their beautiful pictures. Because see, half of the people I see on these billboards and things, I see them in the supermarket. That time look like them. It look like they spend a lot of time in the beauty salons and stuff. They're some pretty people. Oh yeah. So. Well, see, I know I didn't want to talk about that, but because I heard about all these manifestos coming out and launching manifestos, I don't even think that's necessary. You know what I mean? Because we all know what our problems are. Just go there and just do it. We all know. You don't have to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
We live it. We feel it. We know. You don't have to write it on a piece of paper.
But it's a good tool for holding them to account, because if they have put it in black and white, right, then you have that to refer to and say, you made the promise, this is what you said you were going to do, but you never delivered on it.
See, that was just my comments a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
The manifesto that you have posted long time ago, just come back now and tell us all the things that you have done that was on that manifesto before this election.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Just tell us, our last election manifesto, we did this and we did that, and you can pull it out and we can go over it with you.
Mm-hmm. And of course,
new manifestos.
Of course, new issues may have arisen since in the past 4 years as well.
Yeah, because you know why? Because they never complete the manifesto that they were supposed to do in the first place, to put things in place for us, the Cayman people, that wouldn't get us in the problem that we're in today.
Yeah.
We got to come up with these new ideas now to undo or to trick us again.
Well, I'll use one example. We see what is happening, worldwide now with the Trump tariffs, right? We see what's happening with that. I'm sure that no one has ever addressed that before, because, it's a new phenomenon that has taken place. Candidates need to focus in on that to see how it is going to impact the Cayman Islands and the already high cost of living in the Cayman Islands, because it's going to get higher, because where do we get our goods from?
But wait a minute now. The answer for that too. We didn't have to wait for Trump to come and start handling shenanigans. We been known long time ago, special food sources, and I went on a delegation down to the Central America, I just come from Salvador, my friend. You talk about produce. You talk about produce, OC. We all knew back in the day our elders got a lot of their produce from over there. Coming here. All of a sudden now we got to come from the north. Who gets it from the west?
Yeah, we used to. You remember the Daydream, the Daydream and the Judy?
Right.
Two ship names, Honduran boats that came to Cayman. Daydream and the
We
Judy.
don't have to react now because of what Trump is doing. We should have had that in place long time ago. So now that when Trump come up with these little shenanigans that he coming up with, we would already have something in place where we can say, well, at least we don't have to depend on that from the north. We should have had that long time ago, see? Mm-hmm. It was started and then they just drop it because you know why? You know why? Because of certain entities and your good friends, the Chamber of Commerce, don't really want to support something like that.
I like how you assign friends to me.
Well, yeah. But you know what I mean?
Yep.
I just poking you to elaborate on it.
Yes. Got you.
I'm looking for help now. So I see. Yeah, that we should have had all that in place. Done with things like that would not really affect us. At least food, which is one of the most resources that we can have that in water. So we could have we could have had that in place, and we could all car parts or the likes and all that kind of thing is a different something.
Okay.
But all the food we got to eat first before we can do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And we have major supply on that other side that we could have been tapped into a long time ago. Back in the day, the turtle meat, everything you remember came from there. So we should have kept that relationship.
Yep.
Also, see, you got callers?
Yeah, we have two other callers queued up there.
Okay, and you don't have a lot of time?
We're going to take the other caller after the commercial break. So you have about a minute and a half left.
Yeah. Okay. See, when I speak about rollover policy within government, not just rollover policy, I don't want just to roll somebody out and they go for 2 years, which I recommend 2 years, and come back or work overseas within and do that same job. Because if that person come back and goes back in that same job, then I know you had them working overseas online.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go, we want a succession plan where a Caymanian steps into that, or if you have to get another foreigner to take up the place, a work permit person to take up that job until the Caymanian is properly trained, then we didn't have to wait for rollover 5 years. We can just move the person out, put him, and then put the Caymanian in, right? I say that to say that our good friend Biggie, we call him Biggie, Kent Rankin, was that a succession plan he had in place when he started his business? Well, see, I can name off about 10, and this is good people that we know, where after Biggie's job, after they was working with him, they went into starting their own business. The Bakers, the Davis, the Bella, the Mockingbird, the Tony's Toys, the 80s Decode, which is a major thing now, the Gregor G, God bless his soul, Rexy. I can just name off endless guys that went and started their own business, not on the outside, see. Usually you get the best work on the inside. These is guys that work on the inside of your $1 million homes, see.
Mm-hmm.
That can do the job. Coming from one little guy in our community called Biggie. Matter of fact, I was told by somebody from Public Work that when Biggie would bring in the guys to train his guys, he would extend that invitation to public workers to do the interior drywalling.
Okay.
A guy called me and said, me and your cousin was two that Biggie extended the invitation to, and Public Work would send them to sit in his seminars to also launch. So he never just brought it in for his own good. He brought it in for
Good to know.
Island.
Gotta go now, though. Gotta go.
All right. right. Nobody talks about that. I got to call back.
Okay.
Call him back.
I'll be on this afternoon as well. So if you missed me this morning, be on this afternoon. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. We have a few callers on hold. Please be patient with us. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will take your call.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
For the Record with Orrett Conner.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines as promised. Our WhatsApp caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Yeah, hanging in here. Going through some storms, but that too will pass.
Yep. And my sincere condolences to you and your family.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Man, I don't know how to address my good old friend, my enemy, Graham. I don't know how to address him. He said he'll call back. So if not this morning, he'll call you back this evening. Because me and him supposed to be good buddies. We come a long way, but he threw me away.
Oh.
But what I'm calling about, OC, is, I agree with him, what he's saying 100% and everything. I think he's stealing some of my ideas, but that's all right. Once it's him, he's an old Caymanian, like I said. But I'm noticing, and it not only for this election year, but I've been noticing for a couple of years back when the candidates are putting out their manifesto, they look at what the other person puts in their manifesto. Nobody don't want to come up first and put out their manifesto because they want to see where the other person stands and how they do. So it seemed to me like I'm copying from you and you's copying from the next one and the next one instead of our own personal ideas. Because I feel, I don't know, I could be wrong, but, a person that is a candidate and they put out their manifesto first, I think, that's it. But the other rest of the candidates, they look at that manifesto and copy off of it and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering.
You think you think that happens frequently? The issues, we know what the issues are, and they keep amplifying those issues whenever they are either doing debates or when they're on talk shows like For the Record or Talk Today. They talk about them. So, the issues are common. I don't think that they necessarily have to replicate, duplicate, or copy, other manifestos, but it may be happening, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but see what I'm saying? You yourself know, and I respect you as an honest person. See, you know that for years on top of years, I'm going to do this if I get in. I'm going to do this if I get in.
Yep.
I'm going to do this. And once I get in, nothing is done. But then the next election year come again, I got to do this and I'm going to do this. So why I couldn't do it before when I promised you first? Just take, for instance, the dump. That situation not solved yet, Mr. Conner. That situation not solved yet. And I'm 75 now. And from time I was 10 or 11, when I used to walk up the North Sound, we had an issue with that dump, and it not solved yet.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the previous government? I mean, no, come on, man. And I have been talking to a lot of people, and they're discouraged, and they say they don't have no interest in voting because they say we know what the bird in the cage is, but we don't know which one, what the one that flying is. So they might well stay with what they got.
But you know what they say about voting, not voting, right? When you fail to vote, you get the government that you didn't vote for.
Yeah. But what they're saying also again is I know what I got now, but I don't know what I get. So I might well stay with the bird in the cage. I mean, that's what my mother used to tell me. I know the bird in the cage I got now. The bird not doing nothing, just standing up, eating and drinking water. So I don't know what the other one that's flying. If I catch him now, what he gonna do? He might be worse. So I mean, it's a sad situation, and a lot of people that I talk to say they're really not interested in voting because it's an every year thing. Once it's campaign time, a lot of promises, and then when they get in, nothing is done. So I mean, I agree with what Graham is saying, and I mean, it's a sad situation. So where do we stand as a country? Where we stand as a country? It's very sad. Thank you, Mr. Conner.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Still have another caller on hold, Paul. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. A sifted flower. So, listen to me now. I hear we in Cayman now. We learned a new word, riffraff, and now we learned that one tariff. The word tariff now.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know that until Donald Trump got in. So listen to me now. The U.S. is taxing people. I mean, countries from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much countries got a tariff on the U.S.?
No, I don't know.
170 to be precise.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good. Now I can ask you this question. You know where the Rocky Mountains is?
Mm-hmm.
America, you know where Tennessee is?
Mm-hmm.
America, you know where Georgia is?
I think so.
America. Now listen to me, my friend. We come into tariffs, right? A case of Tennessee whiskey, right, costs about, I can check up my, I think it's around about $80, right?
Okay.
And our government, listen to me good now, our government on that $80 case of rum whiskey, our government is charging $147. That's a pretty good tariff, right? So, I mean, in Tennessee whiskey been coming out there before Trump was there, I think before he was born. I stand to be corrected. But Georgia Pacific plywood that we put on our roof, the studs that we think, all that is coming out of the United States, and we are taxing it here on our people.
Yeah.
And Cayman Rock, and then Cayman is duty-free. Now, a case of beer that comes out of the Rockies, of course, most popular beer in the Cayman Islands, we pay like $14 on a case, right? So, I don't say where everybody can be. All the things in Cayman gonna go up. The things in Cayman go up because Donald Trump. You know what the things in Cayman going up? Because we got trillions of dollars coming through this island that the accountants firm, the insurance companies, the law firms are making millions and millions of dollars and the banks every year. If we had been getting 0.5% of that, we wouldn't have to be taxing half of anything in the Cayman Islands. A pack of cigarettes that Benson, Hedge, and Rotman that come from England. What do more people say? England, our mother country. You know how much our government is charging on one pack of cigarettes? Because they sell them every day. $4.20 on each pack of cigarettes that are smoked in the Cayman Islands.
Now, if you talk if you talk to some people, they will argue that those taxes, some of them referred to as sin taxes, are designed to try to discourage people from smoking and adversely affecting their health. Do you believe that it is effective?
No, the people can smoke cigarettes. But tell me something now. Look at the liquor, right? The biggest consumers of alcohol in the Cayman Islands, one of the biggest, is the tourists, right?
Okay.
The tourists, okay. What you think? Or you think a tourist look well? I come from Tennessee and I can get a bottle of whiskey up there for $8. And when they come down here, 45, CI, $50 US, you say, wow, expensive, but nobody not telling them, listen, the government is charging $146 on a case of this thing, on 12 liters, 12 bottles. So if the government is taking $146 off of 12 bottles of liquor, but that's a hell of a tax. Whether you call it sin tax, fun tax, or any kind of tax.
But still people are paying it. They're paying it.
Yeah.
Nobody, they're complaining, but they're still paying it.
But why are we not getting the money from where it's not going to hurt the Caymanian people?
I got you, yeah.
You know why, OC? Because every one of the leaders in our government, they know this. I asked Minister, I just heard Joey talking about the Minister of Finance, Mr. Roy McTiger, that he can handle that. I said he made him money through that industry. So you think now that he can say, well, look, yeah, I know what's going on there. I can take 0.5% and free medicine for my children and my elders and scholarship from A to Z, free. Come back and work for the government or work for anybody in Cayman Islands. But no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're talking about Donald Trump. We blinded by the light, wrapped up like dudes in the rumors of the night. Have a nice day. No weed, no vote.
All right, take care. I believe we have another caller, but we're going to a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy, and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Conner.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Going straight to our caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah. You're not going to welcome me, no.
But see, I have no way of knowing who's on the line, you see. So a lot of people think...
I used to think you're monitoring my calls sometimes.
I know, but...
Okay. For my good friend, George Shillette. George, as a seventh-generation Caymanian, the old Cayman love is still there for you, just that we don't see each other a lot. And to pick up on my friend there in the BRAC, now that he brought that topic up, I'm wondering, Osi, if we could, when you are buying alcohol to export, like if the boats are leaving to go go out of jurisdiction, if we, they exempt the taxes, and then the importers, I think they get it back from something like that they do, right? You don't have to pay the taxes on it. So I'm wondering if we could do that same thing for the hotels because of the tourists. You see? Tourists, that being a tourist destination, encouraging, it wouldn't be too expensive for the tourists to just pay, like you say, they pay $8 for a bottle, but then you pay $14 for a drink, So if they could exempt the taxes from alcohol as being sold to the hotels, but then keep the taxes on the local consumers and the cigarettes for what your purpose, your reason, because they try and
let the tourists off the hook. Let the tourists off the hook.
Well, that's okay. They want to drink plenty. We just don't want, like you say, our locals to be caught up in smoking too much or drinking too much.
Okay, got you. Yeah, from that viewpoint.
That's where I'm going with that. So if we put up on the alcohol, where the guy used to drink 5 beers, he might only end up drinking 2 on weekends. You see? Because that's not really essential to him.
Yeah.
He might have a couple more dollars to buy some cornflakes or something like that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But not that I want to let him off the hook. You see?
Got you.
I just want that to be a part of our tourist product kind of tour, because they could say, well, you can go to Jamaica and get a rum and coke because Jamaica produce their own rum and stuff. Everything here is imported.
Yeah.
So that is the case.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to finish up on my friend Biggie. Can you imagine, see the type of mentality that this gentleman has, where he's educating his competitors? The government would be people he get work from. Here he are educating government workers to do the same thing that he's doing.
Yeah.
So I got to give him credit. For that.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I want to go to the airport. Pop up to the airport and went to Cayman Airways. Just curious. Just want to drop something off, but me, I'm curious and looking around and
asking questions.
I saw 4 Caymanians at Cayman Airways counter that I know. Walk all the way down the line, and when I left the Cayman Airways counter, I don't recognize one single soul, and they don't even look like us. They say, well, look like Caymanian, but I really don't know them. No. Completely different, OC. Hair different, nose different, eyes different. They can't see over the counter, some of them, completely different. In our airport, see, this is our airport. Do we have any type of unemployment, OC, on the island?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, because I think we do, because we have over, I forget how many hundreds of people at Lion Center whenever they're doing the cleanup program, right?
Yep.
And they be upset. These people be upset if they only get 2 weeks, or see, of working in the hot sun, eating a glossy-looking thing, reflecting in their face, heat coming out of the ground and coming down on top of them. But because they're paying them a good salary per hour, they will go out there and work in that hot sun. So don't give me no garbage, right? Don't give me no jive. So yeah, we have that whole entire thing there behind the counter, and I don't recognize nobody. And me being one of the most popular person in Cayman, should at least they recognize me if I don't recognize them, right? Nobody recognize me. Okay, I go through the security. Bob not there no more to check my passport. I don't recognize nobody there. I don't recognize nobody in the security. I don't recognize nobody except Cayman Airways mechanics when I go out to the plane and the pilots. And now it's to a point now that I'm recognized the girls on the plane. I don't see no Shelley and Deborah Miller and all them and the likes no more. I mean, this is our airport, see?
Yeah.
And if it wasn't that I was coming back, that I recognized my good friend Turtle, we got to recognize him.
Yep.
And Teets and Derek and the likes. Now we'll see, even the first person we meet in immigration is an overseas person telling me what line I must go in.
That is why it is necessary for us to categorize jobs that will be for Caymanians only.
Where's the Elio Solomon motion that was passed, honestly, in the House, see? Where that man? Huh?
Yuppie.
Were you not there when that was passed? Are you one of those responsible for once it passed down at there and it gets up to you guys on a tuck it away somewhere? You're not part of that. I know you're not part of that.
No, I wasn't there then. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about this advisory district council legislation as well that was passed by on the 14th of January 2011. It was passed by our legislature, but never put into effect. That's how many years? 14 years ago? 14 years ago?
So, OC, what is the purpose of them going down? What is the purpose of us electing them in the first place to go down to the parliament that is called now to bring these motions that supposed to be in the best interest of the Cayman people, and it's being passed. Everybody agrees on the floor, but yet it's not implemented after. What's the purpose of going down in the first place and doing it? What is that? What's the purpose?
Yep. And one of the things that you should bear in mind when you talk about the airport and the ticket agents, the counter staff, and things of that nature, don't forget now these are Caymanian companies, because it's not the airlines that are employing them. The airlines has selected and contracted a ground handler, a company, to do their ground handling. So it is the Caymanian companies that are hiring those non-Caymanians behind the counter that are, giving you your seating, looking to ensure that your ticket is right and all of those things, So,
and then,
I don't blame the government per se.
Then, no, I'm not blaming the government or not, but then OC too, we can blame some representative, because I know some of the shenanigans they pull, because remember now, that company cannot get a work permit for that person without go through the political appointed people that
boards.
Boards.
Okay, we got three people.
Is the politician that calls up the guys on the board and say,
Which that shouldn't happen. But we got three callers on hold, and I only have about 20 minutes left, so can I ask you to leave us there?
I mean, I can't call back then.
This afternoon. Okay. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. That's a WhatsApp caller.
Good morning, OC. Am I on?
Yes, you are. I was about yesterday to send you a WhatsApp message. I hadn't heard from you for quite a while, and I was going to send you a message just to ensure that that you were fine.
Well, first of all, thanks very much for the thought. There's also some issue I was going to communicate on you on, but in the end, it became unnecessary. So,
Okay.
but thanks very much, OC. OC, if I were to theme my short call, to give it a theme, I would say the theme is that Cayman is a house divided. Okay? And to me, I mean, I've been watching the debates. It's been difficult to follow your debates and the chamber debates, but I've watched just about every debate.
Okay, great.
To me, one of the highlights of the debates is something that Chris Saunders said on the chamber debate. And he said, he said that the funder, the person funding one of the political parties, I won't call his name, and he didn't call his name either.
Okay.
He said that that person is the one who fought him the hardest in caucus when he wanted to become tough on work permits. People can guess who it was. Now, to me, that person had also differed with him in public about that anyway. So if you follow Cayman politics, you know who it is. Second, he made the point that the president, again, he didn't call his name, I won't call his name. He said the president of another political party had come to see him the time when he was minister in charge of immigration to try and complain about how tough he had become on immigration matters. So to me, I find this very sadly comical in a sense, that now immigration and work permits has become this cheap thing that everybody now wants to talk about, and yet some of those very people are the ones who have been mentioned as having been fighting this behind the scenes. Yeah, then the government white paper comes. The government white paper hasn't resolved anything. The candidates are talking about rollover in government. I haven't seen that in the government white paper. Some people are talking about targets in population. I haven't seen that in white paper. Then some candidates are also saying, well, can we put a committee together after the elections and then suspend all status grants and then look at this issue again? For the upteen's time, you want to put together a committee? Wasn't there a committee which was headed by Steve McField?
Yes.
And recently, and then it fizzled out. I don't know if they even produced a report, and then it came into a white paper, totally watered down. So I'm not saying that, you see, they shouldn't look at it again, but I'm just saying that are we being taken for a ride again? You see, the other thing... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, you see, because of lack of rollover in government, you know what has happened, and I think people need to appreciate it. A lot of people in the senior government positions now are status holders. The chief officers are predominantly Caymanian. But if you talk about the decision makers below the chief officers, they are status holders. Okay, because you never introduced rollover policy 20 years ago when it was announced. Now, I can tell you, OC, I left government because certain status holders, particularly from the Eastern Caribbean, complicated my life because I was trying to be fair to Caymanians. And so at the end of the day, I don't know if there's any hope really that anybody is going to resolve this. I'm not saying that people should not give promises, but I'm just saying people should look where we came from and see that actually very few people have done anything. For example, I do not believe that the government has a proper vision for Caymanizing as much as possible the civil service. Kenneth Bryan brought a motion when he was in the backbench, a limited motion just to say, hey, can we make the heads of departments and deputy heads of department Caymanians within 5 years? He didn't get support either from the government or from the opposition. People have been calling me also to ask me, what are those sections in the public service management law? The ones which need to be amended so that it can guarantee that if a Caymanian qualifies for a job, can get a job. They are section 26 and 41. And some of those people who have called me are former politicians, current politicians, even people in sports in Cayman. But those are not things that people are discussing. They don't want to do anything. There is no vision regarding that. Let me end on one short point. you and I on this show have talked before about how important it is that government should set targets. Ask the deputy governor if the deputy governor can meet those targets, and if he wants money, they can give that person money. They can give the money, and nobody has taken that up. When eventually you had the deputy governor and Kenneth Bryan on the show, they differed very openly because Kenneth Bryan was very frustrated that they were being told all the time, we can't do this. The deputy governor was holding firm to say that nobody can appoint only him. And I'm sorry to say, he doesn't have a vision either on how to Caymanize civil service. I thank you, Osi.
Okay, Billy, before you go, just quickly, just to let you know, our conversations with the candidates or interaction or interface with the candidates, we call them debates at Radio Cayman. I think the chamber calls theirs the forum.
Oh, yes, they're called there's a forum. You call yours a debates. I love to watch yours. They're more informal and so on. They are really nice to watch. They're very human.
Thank you very much, Billy. We're going to take our last commercial break. We have 2 callers on hold. I believe, Paul, we'll have to restrict it to those 2 last callers. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center.
With Orrett Conner.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 2 callers on hold. Those are going to be the last 2 callers. I still have one birthday shout out that I missed as well, and I am trying to see if I can find that also. Meanwhile, let's grab the first caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Conner.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I am grateful and happy Friday to you and those in the studio. I believe Paul is with you today.
Yep.
Susan's still celebrating her birthday. Anyway, I got to say this first and foremost. I heard a certain person on just now talking about they got to be the most popular person in Cayman. Everybody gonna know them. Well, you know, I want to tell them they ain't the most popular person. They're just too damn fast. That's why they're up into everything. You know, so I think we got that one rectified.
You know, you're going to get a retort to that, right?
Yes. And I hope they're still listening. Because, I mean, I'm accused of all kinds of things that only God knows where they be coming from. But I can't say them on air. Anyway, Mr. Conner, I heard you say that you were going to speak about something regarding district councils. So I was ready to hear all of that because, I'm always advocating for district councils.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's most unfair to us that they're promised this, and one set of people are cursing the other set because they're in and they didn't do it, and then they get in and they completely ignore it. And if you ask them why, you don't even get an answer. So the other thing I wanted to say, and I hope that Norma's listening, because I sent this question in, but I haven't heard it asked yet. I would like, when Radio Cayman do their debates again, I know that they're pretty much over now and most of the people have come and gone, but I was really hoping to hear the question asked about labor, our labor laws being updated and enforced. I know the Chamber won't ask those questions because that's why we don't have an updated labor law, but I was really hoping to hear that addressed. And if, you happen to be interviewing any more of the candidates, whether they're the incumbents or, the challengers, if that's the correct word, I would really like to hear what their views would be on that, because there's so many issues that are going on here in Cayman that stems from the lack of a proper and updated labor law. We could talk about that further, but I will leave it there because I think you have another caller.
Okay.
So.
And I just want to say that one of the things that I mentioned in relation to the Advisory District Council, and I will bring it up hopefully this afternoon, was the fact that it was passed in 2011 by our Parliament, but it was never brought into force.
Right.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize that it was never brought into force. Dr. Steve Macfield was one of the architects of this that particular bill. But thank you very much.
And I believe he's a strong advocate, like myself,
right. Yep.
of having it implemented.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Just like many others. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's grab our last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Conner. Good morning, Cayman Islands.
Good morning.
Your guests, if you having it there. I want to sentiment all those last callers, especially the last lady caller. We have all of those laws that have already been passed according to the House and have never been implemented. For the record, I stand to be corrected, but from 2009, we noticed that most of the laws that are convenient to all of the politicians is the ones that they're making sure they get enforced. Like the Premier, we made sure we got that rolled out. That was the first one that we made sure we got rolled. We got human rights and for benefit for all those that need a benefit from it. We're making sure we get all those out. But we got plenty of laws that have been passed, like the CEO's law for Caymanians, and we can't find nobody. I mean, as far as I know, that was passed anonymously. I don't know what's taking so long to come off the table. And then we got, I think it was in 2023, they passed the full motion where it was full pass for the Water Sports Association, where it was supposed to put a moratorium on the boats that are coming in there. I mean, every day you see a new boat coming in. I don't know where they're coming from, where they paper Caymanians or where they're coming from, but every day there's a new boat out there and replenishing what Caymanians have established. Like I heard Mr. Dwayne, Sterling Dwayne, in his debate, I think it was our interview with someone saying that his dad in 1976 was making more then than what the water sports is making now. So we're not going forward. We surely went backwards. I don't know who it is, whether it's our own carbon bar mentality or whatever, but it's no good if we go and put laws out there and they're not enforced, because without teeth, there is no law. So what we need to do is don't pass anymore so we can get some of them that is on the table that is valuable that need to be come out and try to sort them out first. But like the district council and stuff like that, they're well needed. We wouldn't have been to this debate if we had got all this implemented a long time ago. And again, that's part of the 2009 Constitution that needs to be gone through. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, as well. So we had some birthday shout-outs that we were asked as well. Cynthia Hugh, Nicosia Lawson, Joanna Thompson, and Pierre Connolly, all celebrating birthdays today as well. I think I may have mentioned them before, Paul, but I could swear that Miss Jewel had sent me something as well, and I'm trying to find it. Okay, meanwhile, talking about tariffs, if those of you who believe that we won't be affected by tariffs, even the U.S. tariffs, even though we really don't trade anything, goods, maybe services, but not goods with them, take a look at many of the products and the items that you have, many of them that you purchase on Amazon, for instance. Look, and I was watching last night CNN, Richard Quest. He took his shoes off in a panel that he was having the discussions with. Took his shoes off and said, look at these shoes. Where are they made? They are made in China. The price of these shoes now are going to go up as a result of that. So take a look at some of the items that you have. See where they are made. They normally would transit the U.S. or end up in an Amazon warehouse or somewhere else and then shipped to you. Do you think that you're not going to be affected by the tariffs? I know a lot of you out there hold Donald Trump up on a pedestal because many of you here in the Caribbean like the strong man syndrome. You have the strong man mentality. But strength is not always a virtue. Laws are important, and adherence to laws are important as well. Those are the things, those are the qualities that we want in our leadership here in the Cayman Islands. That's what we want here in the Cayman Islands. So, yes, we're going to feel it. I heard some people say, they remark, well, some of it may be good because if interest rates fall, and there's some conjecture that the Federal Reserve in the U.S. may cut interest rates again in the next month or so, that we will benefit here in the Cayman Islands. I will venture to say that at some point in time, while the bankers here in Cayman say that our interest rates go up when they do and come down when they do because of the linkage with the U.S., I get the funny feeling that when they get too low, they're going to use another strategy and say, something. We're just going to follow our own. We're going to make our decisions in relation to interest rates here in the Cayman Islands. Look out for it. Have no factual information to support what I'm saying, but my hunch, I have a hunch that will happen, as well. There was one something that I wanted to read before. I don't want people to believe that this person has written and said, I just want to say that Mr. Myles has a good foresight on his vision, and he is very good with our children. I pray and hope that the Prospect people go out and vote for him so he can win the Prospect seat this election. Then in relation to the National Housing Trust, they say that I don't understand when a person or persons go to the NHT for housing and then they have to go to a retail bank to get their mortgage approved. When the person or persons go to the retail bank, the banks then tell them that they can't qualify. They go on to ask, why can't the Cayman Islands Development Bank be utilized for lending for mortgages and loans as well? Good question. But sometimes people will take government for granted, so that if it is done through a government entity with no connections, they sometimes shirk their responsibility and feel that, oh, I don't have to pay it because it's government, and then government is likely to write it off. Not saying that that's a problem, but that's one of the issues that could be faced as well. Plus, commercial banks are much more adept and, have the wherewithal to manage mortgages as well. Folks, with that, we've reached 10 o'clock. I welcome you to join me at 12:15 for Talk Today, where, again, we will have candidates from the Cayman Islands National Party in the studio with us, and we also will have independent member wishing to represent the constituency of West Bay South in our parliament, none other than Mr. Sterling Drain Ebanks. He will be with us this afternoon as well. So, as usual, have a great day, and we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique